So, since this is one of my first reviews, I don't know too much about handling a script all that well. So, you're gonna see my eyes floating off to the screen. I'm not the greatest at memorizing things, so I'm not gonna. I didn't want to have to memorize this thing because it would take me like a week or something to memorize. And I do want to get this review out so I can go back to recording another full listen through, first time reaction on a different album. So if you see my eyes drifting up like this, I'm just looking up at the script. I'll try to pay attention to you guys as much as possible. And there also will be this reflection you see here on the computer screen, which is like, I don't like the way my eyes look anyways, so we can replace my eyes with these. Ooh, I look like an alien. Alright, let's get into the review. Alright, so, Brockhampton's Ginger is a fantastic listen of an album. With some quite subtle messaging, this album is able to give off a very different vibe than the other ones I've listened to, that being only Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine, but it's one, so I can compare the two, I think. I'm allowed to. This album is quite sad, frankly, especially in the second half. And if you watch the first listen-through reaction that I uploaded, you'll be able to tell that some of these songs were even hard to listen to at times. Like, I may be smiling, but on the inside I'm like, what? I think I remember, I was like, in Dearly Departed, there's this part where it's like, what? I'm not going to try and redo it. I'm not going to try and redo that sound, but it was like, ah, and I'm like, what is happening? But on inside, I'm like, oh my god, how should I even react to it? So that's why I do the, what is happening? It's insane. It's insane. You can hear in this album that the boy band is finally drifting off from their normally upbeat raps. I've heard actually 3 songs now from Saturation 2, not 3 or 1, which I probably should actually do listen throughs and first reactions to. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. I might decide just on my own, like, oh, Saturation 1, Saturation 2, and Saturation 3, just like I plan on doing with Man on the Moon 2. I listened to Man on the Moon 1 by Kid Cudi on my own. It was on a long car ride. I was like, if I'm going to dive into Cudi, I don't need to necessarily have the first one on tape, which is what I concluded on, and I'll do a listen-through reaction to the second Man on the Moon. But the first one I thought was really good. I added some songs from it onto my playlist, and they're still there. I still listen to them. They're good songs. Some of my highlights are Soundtrack to My Life, Heart of a Lion, and Day and Night. That's a good one. Very good one. But I think Kids See Ghosts was a little bit better of an album from Cudi. Not just because Kanye was on it. It was a great transfusion. But I'm getting off topic. This video is about Brockhampton's Ginger. So I've not listened to the full album of Saturation yet, but so I could be wrong on that one. Maybe the rest of the album is sad. I don't know. This album kicks off with something that is able to show you mainly what is to come for the rest of the album. No Halo, the first song on the album, is a soft, sweet, and melodic, depressing tune that has this amazing strumming guitar, some good background noise, playing basically the same chord throughout the song. A couple beats in, the beats kick in. A couple beats in, the beats kick in. Not necessarily. And then we have one of the members drop a nice verse going through how he has to find it. I'm sure I'll find it. He's saying, I'm sure I'll find it. No one held me for my, no one held me for my, I'm sure I'll find it. What is he looking for? For that we can only wonder. Because I did not fully research this album. Maybe I should have. As the next track kicks in, Sugar is a song that I felt came off as a love song that honestly needed a couple more listens to before I could fully appreciate it. Which is why I'm glad I did add it to my personal playlist, because it gave me more chances to listen to it, and I now really do appreciate it. And I still see it as essentially a love song, but yet another transfusion of the two, to be quite honest. The boys are speaking for their loves, but they are also mentioning their regrets just as much, and they really want to assure their lovers they will be there for them. I gave this a 9 or 8, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't regret it. Either one of those I don't regret. When you're listening to constant, like, bops, like Boy Bye, as I will go into the next section, this is a nice break. A break like this song is exactly what you need sometimes. And that carries us on into Boy Bye, which is actually the first Brockhampton song I ever listened to, as it came up in my recommended on one of my other Spotify playlists. This song is probably the best bop on the album. This is the best song I can dance to, and I think sing to as well. I can sing to some of the other ones on Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine a little bit better, but this one is just as easy to listen to. This is definitely one of the better bop songs on the album, is all I have to say. But if you listen closer to the lyrics, it's still full of some angst and a little bit of pain, which really makes me feel bad for the boys. This 10 on the song is so well deserved, though, because it showed me that I totally needed to give these boys a chance with me, and I'm so glad I did. Boy Bye, and goddamn, this song is good. Heaven Belongs to You, while being the shortest song on the album, is probably one of the closest songs on the album to becoming as good as a bop as Boy Bye. The chorus really carries this one, and even with 1 minute 30 seconds of song playback, this is still able to really mean something. Like, it's got a nice beat, some really great verses, and then the chorus. It's a sweet, fast-paced song. And it's a nice little treat in between these main courses in the meal of this album. The next song, St. Percy, is a song that I would describe as almost hardcore, but it's not like I'm listening to Humble or DNA from Kendrick. This song is really good, though. The chorus is especially great as it brings off one of the Brockhampton's strengths, which is the ability to actually add chorus to a rap song, which not many can do. This song is quite a high one in my book, and the end is just an expected, insane surprise. You'll have to listen to it for yourself. Or, I always include the endings before I talk about the song in my first listen-through / reaction, so you can hear that little snippet of it, but I highly recommend you listen to this one. If You Pray Right is such an unexpected thing I thought to come out of this album. You hear a man say, hallelujah, and then you hear these trumpets that are just blasting, and this insanely good beat. Sonically, the combination of the bass and those trumpets, as well as the normal beats, bring this song up to one of my favorites. And the verses are just as good as the other ones. Not better, but just as good. Also, the combination of a low voice and the falsetto on this song works so well together. It was something like, I'm not going to try and recreate it, but you have this really low dude, but then you have this guy in his falsetto range, and it sounds really good together. And now we reach what I feel is, quite honestly, one of the best songs on the album. Dearly Departed marks the start of the album, not necessarily where the album goes downhill, but where I think it peaks. Never in my life did I think a slow song would make it on my personal playlist, but this song proved me wrong. The verses are literally nothing but pain, and then the chorus kicks in, left me broken on the listen through. This song is essentially about the boys trying to recover from losing one of their band members. I can't remember exactly who it was. I haven't done my research on this. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna get some hate or backlash for that, but I'm just trying to do my best here, which might not be my best. You can really tell how much emotion they are throwing at you in this song. There's one part in the song where one of them throws something to the side, like in their recording studio, and you can hear it smash against something. And this was the breaking point for me. And I'm honestly quite relieved the song ends soon after, because I don't know if I could have listened or bear to listen to another verse. Even if you don't like Brockhampton, give this song a listen to, because you will not regret it. This song is a certified 10 out of 10. And then we have I've Been Born Again. It's a good song after Dearly Departed, because it kicks in with some beats again. If there had been two slow songs back to back, I don't think I would have listened to them. This song is quite a good beat. The focus is still essentially being sad and having some regrets in the verse, but the emotions are a little bit more toned down compared to Dearly Departed. This one didn't stick on me though, and for the life of me, I still can't figure out why. Maybe after a couple more listens, I will be able to add it to my playlist. It has good beats and good verses. I definitely mentioned this in my first listen. It didn't speak to me the same way some of the songs on the first half of the album did. Ginger brings things back to a point of sad emotions, bringing out the backbone of this album, being that Ginger not the song, but the album, is full of regrets and upset with life. This has a good beat and some of the best verses on the album, I swear. Not the best verses, those will probably belong to Dearly Departed, or Boy Bye, or the last song, which we will get to. It was honestly quite tough to listen to, that I enjoyed it less on the second and third listen through. This song is slowly starting to, like, be appreciated by me, because I hate listening to people having pain in their lyrics. It's tough for me to hear that and then be like, oh, that sucks for them. And I can't do anything about it, because they're celebrities. I'm not gonna, like, hey man, I hope you're feeling better. I can't do that. And that really gets to me sometimes. This is a good song for you when you need to really let it out and be in your feels. And then we have a drop for me in quality. Big Boy is a song that I really did not enjoy. Really did not enjoy on the first listen through. I think I gave it like a 6 or a 5. And I am very generous when I rate songs. Some of them I might, honestly, after I'm done recording, I go back and listen and be like, oh, why did I give this rating? I'm like, oh, that was not there for me. But in no ways is it a bad song. It just doesn't hit the same way these other songs do. But I admit, after the third and fourth listen to this song, it has grown on me quite a bit. And I'm able to admire mainly the verses in this song, which were actually the only things I enjoyed in the first listen through. I thought the backing tracks and the beats were honestly quite not good. I don't want to say garbage, because I don't want to say anything Brockhampton does is garbage, because I've been able to honestly enjoy all of them. But this is just another example of throwing the album farther into the sad boys territory, which is in no way a bad thing, but this is just, I think, the lowest song on the album for me, which is disappointing, because I think a lot of people actually really enjoy this song. Brings us to the second to last song in the album, Love Me for Life. This picks it up again. This really does. Was a point in the album for me when the album started to head back into the highs again. Upsetting me the slightest bit, considering this is, yes, the second to last song, so they cannot grow very far from here, but it's a good song. There's not enough I can say about this song, but I noticed more and more that it's almost an evolution to the earlier love song in the album, Sugar. Contrasted to that, which was still a good turnaround, though, when I had my first listen through, considering how I felt about Big Boy the first time I listened to it. This was definitely, I think, 2 notches up from Big Boy, either an 8 or a 7, I think, pretty sure. And then we go into Victor Roberts, and this is what essentially ruined my first attempt at a review on the album after my first listen through and reaction, because I was just so broken after this song. This is one of the perfect closings I've ever heard on any album. Much to the similarity of Love Me for Life contrasted to Sugar being an evolution of that, this is a contrast to an evolution of Dearly Departed. The same that nearly broke me, and I had to stop recording and just sit for a couple seconds after it. Maybe even a minute after, in stunned silence. This song destroyed me. The chorus has them saying, thank God for my bitches still sticking with me. Thank God for my bitches still sticking with me. Which is like, should come across to me as like rude lyrics, or like almost like, oh, a little petty, honestly. But in this song, it just doesn't. In here, it just blends seamlessly with the rest of the song, giving off, as I said before, one of the best closings for any album I have ever heard. Jeez, man. This song is no doubt a 10 out of 10. And I think Dearly Departed deserves a 10 out of 10 more, but I can't decide for the life of me which one's better. This one may be an evolution of it, but I don't know if it's better. And that leaves me off to my closing statement on this album, which I decided I ultimately failed on making the first listen through. My articulation was all over the place, and I basically ended up just speechless, same as my Kanye West video, which I don't know if I'm ever actually going to make a proper review on it. I just don't know if I should, and I don't know if I want to put the time into that. After Victor Roberts, I took all of what I could think about to say about the album and just tried to cram it all in there, which I totally regret doing, which is why I'm making this video. So after all that, what can I say about the album? What are my attempts at comprehending and trying to explain my full thoughts on this album? I think it's still really tough, but I'm going to try and do in my best. Ginger is what I feel an evolution of a person should be. As they grow up and mature, they've had all their experiences in life and what they feel about their life, and deciding if they have even had a good one so far. Where will it go from here? Better? Worse? Only time will tell. The first song on here encompasses the idea of birth, essentially. No halo. It's the birth of the album. It's the first song on the track. And all the other songs remind me of other marks and parts of life that are either good or bad. Sugar is like a love song for the couples. Boy Bye is like a song you'd hear at a party when you're a teenager or like young adult that everyone can groove to. But then dipping down to songs like Dearly Departed, just talking about moments of life that truly suck. And that makes full sense. Life sucks so much sometimes. But after that song, this album's tracks have an evolution through it all. They have a certain growth all the way to the end, giving off a much more mature mood than the earlier ones, contrasted to that of a human going through life and all its ups and downs, learning from their mistakes in life, realizing that it's tough sometimes, but being able to grow from these experiences and change their life for the better is how I feel about this album. Victor Roberts being what I feel is the most mature song on the album. And that is essentially how I feel about Brockhampton's Ginger. As for my initial rating on the album, I don't think I'd actually change it. I feel this album is still for me a solid 8. If I feel generous, maybe an 8.5. But it has really opened my eyes, and I can't wait to listen to more songs by Brockhampton. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my attempt, better attempt at least, at a review of this amazing album. Like and subscribe for more like it, and I will see you guys in the next one.